Yeah, I told you guys we'd be back for Velvette. Anyway, Velvette is a lot like Nifty. She's only popular when Vox and Val are included, and her info is as confusing as a chord maze in the middle of the night. As she has a lot of info, but it's all stuff we kinda knew, or stuff that makes no sense. Like, she's good at potions? What the fuck does that have to do with anything? That's info that's pretty much useless in the long haul. Like, that's like me saying, Alistair likes to knit. Like, that doesn't add anything to him or his character. It's probably a background gag at best. Anyway, as for her evolution, her concept art before the pilot was just wow. I'm not sure what the direction was, but I'm glad the pilot version won, as the colors work better and don't blend or clash so hard. I mean, the design is not bad. I do like certain elements. I particularly like the chest style a little bit more. The bows are a big 50-50 for me. I do like the eyes. I don't like the bows. I think it's just very cluttered, along with like the coloring style of her hair. It's just a lot of different things mushed into one thing, whereas the pilot version is a little bit better in terms of patterns, colors, symmetry going on. Like, it makes much more sense with the pilot. Now, her pilot look is okay for back when she was described as being a cosplay-loving, selfie-obsessed clown doll demon, though I'm kind of getting Lolita meets Harley Quinn vibes, minus the clown. But for what it's worth, it was good for what it was. And I actually prefer this over the redesign, because the redesign, I really don't know what to say. Like, okay, high fives all around for actually redesigning her. But, why does she look like a mini version of Val when her media of choice is closer to Vox? Shouldn't she have taken some inspiration from him as well? Also, it did take a while, but one of the crew members dropped what the other half of her looks like, and okay, I love the pants, not with the rest of what is happening. Weirdly enough, I do like the individual pieces of what she's wearing. This needs to be turned into 3 separate outfits, or be a part of 3 separate outfits, because none of these things match. But the thing that bugs me the most is the sleeveless fur jacket, like an unfinished version of Valentino's jacket, and he just went, here! And I also don't like that it's gradient, because you can tell at the top it's darker, and then at the bottom it's a lighter, whiter fur, and I'm just like, why would you do that? But the design is just... It's just weird because she kind of looks like Vaggie now. She also is much more gothic than clown-like or doll-like. And what sucks is I can't say anything about time period accuracy as there's still no info, but I can say something that did help me. It has been confirmed she is in her 30s. I'm not in my 30s yet, but with that age, it does make me think she's not in Gen Z territory, which is the perfect generation for a character obsessed with media. Like, Gen Z literally grew up with the internet, whereas my generation grew up side by side with the internet. Like, I still have floppy disks. So it's weird that Velvette is in her 30s and is social media based. Like, not the right age demographic for that character. Anyway, the redesign was a surprise, which yay for the small things, just not into what they did. Also, I just have to say, her whole character design is the most un-animation friendly design I have ever seen, borderlining Alistair level. Like, you can't sit there and tell me that this is an animation friendly design when it clearly is not. And again, for Velvette's overall character and personality, we don't know anything other than she's obsessed with social media, she's friends with Vox and Val. You know, we still don't know. Anyway, on to the redesign. Okay, I'm gonna say some stuff from the leaked pitch pages. It spoils nothing for the show, so let's all be cool. Okay, so apparently Velvette is British and also black, which seriously, Viv, is it so hard to make your 2 black, yes, I'm counting Alistair, even if he's mixed, he still counts, characters have some features or hair textures similar to their race? Yes, I'm 100% aware brown comes in every shade. I mean, I get it, the show's fantasy-based, so it might be a tad bit harder to show a character's race. I mean, Valentino's a full-on bug, yet he's Hispanic, but people wouldn't know that based on his design, though I'm sure his voice might convey it. Just kind of truly depends on the VA. I mean, a lot of people didn't know Vaggie was Salvadorian either, even though she was speaking Spanish, so it's like, we just have to wait and see. Also Nifty, like, no one would know that she's Japanese because she's basically just an eye with legs. Like, representation still matters even in fantasy shows. You just gotta find a way to show it. Luckily, I have a great audience. They gave me some great ideas for Velvette's hair texture. Sorry to interrupt. This is where the script had to be rewritten. But, so side note, as you can see, I clearly decided to go back and change some stuff. I pre-posted Velvette and had a few people point out some stuff, and honestly, I was right there with them. Redesigning Velvette has become stupid hard. She's a lot of things in one, and I still haven't figured out what to do that, leaves me somewhat satisfied with. As you can see. For my previous sketch, I went with a more alternative, softy, pastel e-girl style with some Y2K influence, which I still love the style choice. It's just Velvette's demon self that I'm having issues with, as she has zero references to what she is, not to say that there was much to begin with anyway. So after making my second attempt, yeah, this was my second version of Velvette. The first wasn't exactly my best, so for this one, I went back and used my Vox and No Straight Roads and old Disney movies about the future as references for this third attempt. So as you can see later, I made Velvette's pigtails detachable and made her curls more sharp-edged. I'm still not 100% on the sharp look, but I knew I didn't want to lose her texture or the style I chose, which are afro puffs with 2 twist braids at the end. I sharpened her edges a bit and did give her eye earrings, even though she and many other characters do not have ears, other than the animal ones. As for skin tone, to stick with the show's fantasy element, I did make her skin color a more velvet color, which would be a hint to how she got her nickname, as I still don't get how her nickname hints to anything. Vox and Valentino's nicknames make sense for them. Well, Val's does. Vox's nickname is literally for radio stuff, so yeah, I guess one person's nickname makes sense out of the 3. Anyway, sorry, lost track. I did give Velvette a nose. Not sure why she doesn't have one, as she's also very human looking, like Charlie, Al, Vaggie, and Lilith. As for the whole eye thing going on, I'm gonna have to tell you more about what her bio says, so yeah. It says, and I quote, she works as Val in Vox's social media export. Not sure if they meant expert, because social media export is technically nothing. Anyway, she does PR for them, which, why? She's not the only one in hell who knows how to PR. Plus, then it goes to say that she's the head of all of hell's fashion industry. They reference her to be the Meryl fucking Streep in Devil Wears Prada. I need a minute. Oh my god. Okay, I'm good. Let's just keep going. I'm sorry. It's just so silly to me that they're saying that Velvette is the Meryl Streep of hell. No. You cannot. If anyone has seen the film, you know exactly why I'm upset, because there is no way that these two people live in the same circle, live in the same world. No. Ugh. Anyway, let's just keep going. She's also said to be a businesswoman and of youthful age, so I'm gonna guess this 30-year-old woman is gonna act like a 16 to 18-year-old child. Anyway, as you've just now heard, her bio is confusing and stuffed to the brim with info. Why is she their PR if she's running all of hell's fashion industry? Also, how is she running all of hell's fashion industry? Fashion's the one thing no one person can control, but also, what does her being in charge of fashion have to do with social media? Yeah, fashion has done well on social media, but how is she the embodiment of it? Because she's just like Vox. She has this way with social media, so shouldn't her thing be promoting fast fashion, MLMs, starting hate campaigns, doxing other demons, cyberbullying, spreading fake news, all the stuff that if you get too involved with will make you crazy? Also, I don't get the age thing, since she's meant to be Vox and Val's adopted daughter, and the fan art the crew has made makes me feel very off, cause I know she's almost the same age as them, yet she's treated like a child, and not in the fun way when your friend is 1 year younger than you. So for this redesign to make any sense, I pretty much mixed her old bio and her new bio together, made the fashion part more about fast fashion trends, along with making it more futuristic. So let's get into it. Video's long enough. For her outfit, I kind of just simplified what I had originally, as even though I think the softy style works, and it's technically the most popular in the alternative style, it's not tech enough for me. As just like Vox, Velvette is tech-based and obsessed with social media, which I can guess means she wants to be the most popular person on social. So what better way to be ahead of the trend by incorporating techwear into every style she tries out? So yes, it's still softy / Y2K, just with a little futuristic spice. I also like to think that just like Vaggie, Velvette will get different outfits every so often. Anyway, I changed the fur cuffs to solid cuffs to stick with her Tinkerbell balls. went a little bit harder on the Y2K side with more of her skin showing, gave her tech and joint marks, still not 100% with it, but I will figure it out. As for shoes, I completely scrapped the winter fur boots and went with a more XJ9 style. I really tried to push the organic robot side of her, as I can imagine her phones are literally connected to her in an almost parasitic way. As for color, both Y2K and Softy Fashion share pastel colors, but to make Velvette a bit more similar to Vox, I made the mint green more vibrant to hint more at her tech-like background, because I mean, when you think tech, you think glow in the dark, right? I also gave her way more hearts than Val, mostly to connect them, but to also show how obsessed with likes Velvette is, as nearly every app out there has a heart icon for liking something. So I'd like to think she'd be covered in hearts. Okay, the arms. I did give her more arms. I'm still not sure how I feel about it, but for a character obsessed with social media, I'd assume they'd have a ton of arms to constantly be on everything and anything, which is also why I gave her a lot of eyes on both her face and hair ties. But I think the more is less approach feels a bit better. Maybe her full demon look can have more eyes on her face, you know? But I mean, I personally like this more cybernetic, sharp styled eye a little bit better. I mean, I do like the double eye, but I was 50-50 on it, so I don't know. Either way, the whole eye thing was because I'd imagine she's always watching, always keeping an eye out for anything new, or making sure everyone's eyes are on her. I still think I can make all this work for the friendly animation version, but we'll see. Lastly, the makeup style is inspired from face apps, because why not? You know, like, obviously the makeup is relatively very simple, but, you know, I didn't want to go too overboard. I did want to add, like, a Band-Aid on her nose at some point, but I don't know. I don't know! This character has driven me up the frickin' wall. I can't believe I've made 4 finalized sketches, and this is what I've landed on. I just don't know what to do. I really don't. There's so much information, and there's so much to work with, to the point where I'm like, I don't know what to pick from. I don't know what to make. Like, this is literally what happens when you put too much information into a character. Like, there is a thing as too much info for a character, to the point where, like, you don't know what to make anymore. Or at least your team doesn't know what to make. Like, ugh. Everybody else in the Has-Been Hotel world seems to be relatively simple, and their information can be boiled down to about, like, a small paragraph, whereas Velvette's is not even a small paragraph. It's a full-blown book, and I don't know what to do. Anyway, I'm so tired and so happy to be done. Let me know what you think of Velvette in the comments, and we'll chat. Next video will either be my interpretation of the Sloth Prince, or Scooby-Doo Next Generation, or Luna and Millie Redesign. Just gotta see which one I get done first. Anyway, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Really helps out the channel and me. And I hope you all have a super fantastic day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!